I didn't want to do this. They're right. I didn't want to do this. This is the last thing in the world I need to be doing when I'm 70 years old. If I take office, when I take office, I'll be 71 years old. This was not in the cards. It is a sacrifice, but it's more than just a sacrifice for me. It's a sacrifice for my wife, Wendy, because this wasn't in her cards either. We've been married for 45 years. Never once did I express that I wanted to run for office. Not one time did I ever say that. At the same time, it's almost, in my mind, become imperative that I run for office. Because, frankly, I don't know anyone who is equipped to do what I believe that needs to be done better than me. So it's like I'm the default of me. I don't know how else to say it. I have lived in this county now, Wendy and I have lived in this county for 40 years. We've been in the same house now for 38 years. We're not going anywhere. But the county, the way that this county is run is not like it was run when we moved here. We called it God's country when we moved here. Every one of my subcontractors would call this God's country because we were actually living in Roswell. That's where you live. I live in God's country. Where is that? One county north. Okay. We finally drove up here and we found out, yeah, this is a great place to be. It's a great place to live. It's a great place to have your family. We have everything in this county. At the same time, the government that was operating in the county at that time were locals. It was like the people down the street. It was like, hey, Mr. Stevens, hey, Mr. Whatever it might be. Everybody knew who was running the government, and they were really your friends. And I hate to say it, but it all changed when they built the first administration building that we're in right now. Everything changed, and I'll tell you why that is. It changed because they had a place to start congregating government to control the lives of the people in this county. And the bigger the government gets, the more control they exert, and the worse life gets to the people in this county. This county is not being run by the will of the people. It is being run by the will of 3 people. And for some reason, they keep getting elected. There's a million issues that we can talk about, but it all boils down to this lust for power and control of the people in the county by the commissioners is destroying life in this county. Just recently, as Bill was talking about, they have legislated a new ordinance to give them better ways to control the destruction of your business when your business has been grandfathered in and it's not part of their master plan. The term central planning has been used tonight. Yeah, these are terms that are on my mind all the time. We have central planners here. Soon after they built the new, the existing administration building, then they brought in a whole new panel of planners. Now, these are not local people. These are not people who were invested in this county. They were not people who had lives already built into this county, that had a history with this county, that knew the people that lived in this county. They didn't know anybody. And they started planning. And they haven't stopped. And now their ideas of this perfect world of perfect zoning, of a perfect landscape of their zoning criteria is overruling the fact that we've got 100-year-old businesses here that are now in jeopardy by virtue of an ordinance they passed in August that gives them, all they have to do is make up a reason. That's it. Make up a reason that someone has changed their business outside of what was grandfathered in, like they moved a stack of lumber over here, or now they're parking over here, or whatever it might be. All they have to do is make up a reason, and the next thing you know, they get issued a notice that has 18 months that starts ticking when they receive the notice. Now, they'll tell you, oh, that's not what it is. This is just for the bad actors. This is for the guys that are they're the ones that have the big blow up flappy guys on Saturdays. These are guys we don't want in our county business that they're tacky. They're not what we want. No. That guy's been operating there for 40 years. That guy's been operating there since the chairman of our county commission was in grammar school. Yet the hubris involved with these people is absolutely beyond the pale. I can't imagine people being this proud of themselves that they're going to sit back and judge whether someone's business is really in the right place or not after they've been operating there for 40 years. So if you can't tell, private property rights is big with me. You buy a piece of property, and Bill, I mean, you said it right. County owns this place. They can tell you what you can and can't do on your property here. Now, it's one thing if you buy into an HOA, you bought into that. You knew that. There were rules, and then you're part of that. But if you're not, and the county decides that you're not mowing your grass right, some of our county commissioners want to make sure that you're going to mow your grass. And if you don't, they're going to mow it and charge you and fine you. Now, that's not an ordinance. That's what they wanted to do, and it was stopped by the people. But you see what kind of mentality that is? That's not healthy. I mean, that's basically a sickness. That if you want to get that into everyone's life, that you want to control their lives because of some way that you think that you're going to create some kind of a nirvana here, some kind of a heaven on earth, because you can legislate what people can do and what they can't do, that's got to stop. But it's not going to stop as long as these guys are operating as our county, in control of our county commission. Now, there are three county commissioners who voted to spend $140 million of your money on this administration building. 3 people out of 280,000 people made that decision. They didn't even have 5 out of 5. They had 3 out of 5. And they decided to build that even knowing that the county commission cannot lawfully meet and deliberate and vote there. 11 months prior to that night, that decision was made on January the 18th, 2024. 11 months prior to that is when I understand that the county attorney learned of this. Now, that's hard to imagine too. Why wouldn't the county attorney know this long before that? Why wasn't he born knowing this? But then he tells the county manager. And the county manager goes, What does he do? He calls Lauren. He says, Lauren, we need to change the law. Lauren's like, tell me what? We need to change the law. We need to be able to grandfather in the county out there so we can have this administration building outside of the city of Cumming. They don't want to be in the city of Cumming. Why? Because they can't control the city of Cumming. These people are bent on controlling everything about this county. They want every elected office. They want every assigned office. They want to be able to control everything about this county. And if they can't control it, then they don't like it, and they don't like the people that are controlling it. That's the problem between this county and the city of Cumming, is that the people who are really running this county can't control the city of Cumming. So they're not happy about that. There's nothing the city's done. I was at the county fair. I was lucky enough to be paired up to man the Republican Party booth with Laura Simonson. Now, I didn't know that. Maybe she didn't know that, but there we were. And if anyone's ever had a talking to by Laura Simonson, then you know what I'm talking about. It wasn't very pleasant. But then she went to tell me that the problem with the administration building and not being able to vote, that's a problem with the city. I said, the city's gotten, you said, you're interrupting me. I said, excuse me. It's not a problem with the city. It's a problem with the county. The county made every decision, and then they knew it when they voted. And we had two commissioners that night, Carrie Hill and Laura Simonson, on the night of the vote, that say that they just learned about this problem that day. Really? So, county manager knew about it 11 months ago. The county attorney knew about it 11 months ago. Even Alfred John said he knew about it 2 years ago, but he said, but I was told that everybody else knew. Oh, so you're not going to bring it up and say, just checking, did you know that we can't vote out there? No, can't talk about that. So here it is. Every one of them, these three, voted knowing that they could not meet and they could not vote out there. And here it is. We had this monument built to 3 commissioners on the side of Georgia 400. You cannot miss it when you pass north of Pilgrim Mill. It is a monstrosity. And they have built themselves these observation platforms up there where they can sit in their offices and they can behold Sawney Mountain. I mean, folks, government needs to live in a salt box. Government needs a building that is rectangular at most, preferably square, and very few windows. We just need to get the bare minimum for government to do what it's there to do. It doesn't own us, we own it. And the best way that we can show them who is really the boss here is we don't put up with it. You let them know we're not putting up with it. And I don't know when that moment happened when all of a sudden it was over and I was not going to let them live with this, control me anymore. It might have been the night of the Chamber of Commerce. It might have been the night of the Chamber of Commerce. So here it is. We have Brent Cox and Lauren down there at the Chamber of Commerce. And Brent got up. He said he was appalled at the way that these people had treated one of the candidates for the Board of Education, a Republican candidate. They had publicized pictures of her children online, and they had acted like bullies. And so Brent came up with the term cyberbully. And that's exactly what they were. They were being cyber bullies. And that's the way that they were treating people running for office, because they don't want you. They don't want good people running for office because you might win. That might inject some goodness into this government. They don't want that. They want to control it. And they're going to beat you over the head if you ever try. They want to try to beat me over the head? Go a try. Just try. I'm fine with it. You know, one of the great things about being 70 years old when I do this is that, you know, I'm not looking for a resume. I've built a resume. My wife and I have built a resume. We know who we are. We know what we've accomplished in this world, and nobody can take that away from us. And if I didn't run for office, I wouldn't care. And I'll be honest with you. The day that I decided to do this, I called another guy who I had heard had been planning on doing this too, and that's Adam Rhodes. I said, Adam, I don't know what you're thinking, but I'm telling you, I've decided I'm going to go ahead and throw my hat in the ring. And he goes, so am I. I said, okay, good. More the merrier. Come on in. And I told Adam, see, I have so much confidence in Adam, and I have so much respect for Adam that if it ever came down to him or me, I would tell you, you know, look, I have my strengths, I have my weaknesses. Adam has his strengths, he has his weaknesses. You've got to decide who's got the best strengths and the least weaknesses that you want to represent you. But I'm never going to say a bad word about him. He's a great guy. I have no problems with Adam. If he were to represent me, the county commission, this would be in good hands. But I tell you what, the reason why I decided to stay in this is because I do not believe that there's a soul in this county that can do what I think needs to be done down there, and we need to clean house. There's not a soul in this county that I believe would do what I think needs to be done down there better than me. And that's why I'm running. And that's why I appreciate you so much coming out this evening. You have no idea how encouraging it is to have such a great turnout. And that helps me. Because I'm not in this for me. I'm not in this because I want to do this. And if I were here and there was nobody here and I wasn't talking to 5 people, that wouldn't be really encouraging. But we fill this house up. And so I can't tell you how much I appreciate that you've been out here to support me in this endeavor. So thank you so much. If I win, I will do my utmost. I'm never going to agree with everybody, but I will do my utmost to fulfill the will of the people in this office. Thank you.